Hey everyone, this is Prince Brightstar, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. So, last time Chai-Nuuz was attempting to recruit an old friend. Let's see what it is that needs to happen at this point here. The quest is called Finding Good Help. Wrenden is quite right. Building Talos from scratch would require time we simply do not have. Which is why I propose to make use of the long-abandoned Talos which wander the wilds of Kholusia. They will need to be deactivated, of course, and if memory serves, the tools required to do so should still be at the top rung. Come with me. So, top rung is over here to the southwest. How's everyone doing this evening? Let's see, so top rung, over here. Here they are. Aha! The old memory hasn't let me down. This chest contains canisters filled with a dastardly potent insulating powder capable of halting the flow of ether in the Talos. We need only get within throwing distance of one and let fly, thus disabling them without damaging them. Ingenious. An old trick of the trade, nothing more. Once disabled, it should be a simple enough matter to get them to march to Eulmore. More extensive repairs can wait. Ordinarily, this is where I would ask you to run along and do the deed, but as I have said before, it's high time we learn to stand on our own 2 feet. Thankfully, throwing canisters is something even I should be able to manage. Come off it, Master Chai. Even if the Talos ain't a threat, there's 101 other things out there waiting to make a meal of you. That's as may be, Kaishir, but Wrenden tasked me with solving this problem, and I will not sit idly by while others risk everything to see my harebrained schemes realized. Not this time. Which isn't to say the mere thought of it doesn't fill me with dread. Truth be told, I can't feel my legs. But if I am to prove I'm a man worth following, I must lead by example. Well said, Master Chai. Alright, but if there's any trouble, we call it off. Yes, well, it should go without saying that I have no intentions of dying for this. I've always preferred living to see the fruits of my labor. And to make sure I do, I will require your help. It is as Kaishir says, these lands are dangerous if one is not careful. I would ask you to use my spyglass to look out for any beasts that could get in the way of my work. I will also need you to alert me when it is safe to subdue the Talos. Understood? Just as long as there aren't any little birds waiting in the background somewhere. Good. Then let's be off to the quick way, through the north gate, and see if we can't find a suitable vantage point for you. Oh, we're already at the destination, okay. So keep a lookout for danger and alert Chai-Nuuz when it is safe to incapacitate the Talos. You may move the spyglass as well as zoom in and out. Point the spyglass at Chai-Nuuz and give him the signal to sneak near the Talos with the mouse. I don't see anything that could get in the way. Oh, it turned back. Alright, so it doesn't wait around forever once it turns, so I gotta give the signal immediately then. I did it? I did it! Let's move on to another Talos, shall we? You might want to back up in case the thing falls backwards. Alright, so we've got these two up front, which are going to be problematic. Go. I do believe I'm getting the hang of this. You may leave the next one to me, Prince. Haha, that should do it. Now we have all we need to proceed. I can scarcely believe it. It was a reckless, foolish plan, but somehow it worked. I did it. Master Chai, I believe I owe you an apology. Your plan to replenish Eulmore's food stores showed forethought and sound judgment. What's more, it is plain your time at Daedalus Stoneworks has equipped you to lead, as evidenced by the extraordinary company you keep. You, sir, are more than qualified to be the next mayor of Eulmore. I thank you for your vote of confidence, but the fact remains, I am wholly ignorant of the world of politics. Which is why I would ask you to join me, and grant Eulmore the benefit of your counsel. I would be honored. When the people behold these Talos, I have no doubt they will lend you their support. It would seem Eulmore's leadership is at last in capable hands, would you not agree? We should probably be getting back soon, Master Chai. After you've tinkered with the Talos and all that, Lady Chai is worried sick.
Right. Right then. Form a line and make for Eulmore.
What's that noise? Wicked White! Runaway Talos! Call the guard! Stay back! All of you!
Is that... Darling, you're back.
But of course I'm back. You didn't see...
Dearest, I can't...
Well, she was worried sick.
Oh, oh dear.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, my darling. It's just the sight of you filled me with such joy, I couldn't help myself.
Oh, no, it's all right, dear. I should have just come out and said what it was I was intending, instead of entrusting the task to a hastily scribbled letter.
Does that mean you'll do it?
Well, I'm here, aren't I? I mean, not that my absence signified any unwillingness, you understand? Oh, no, naught could be further from the truth. I only left to enlist the aid of the former mayor's senior advisor. And now that I have it, I believe I am ready to take office.
Oh, how wonderful!
Please!
Better get ready again, Alvaro. Alright, let's hand in this quest. That was quite a reception, one Master Chai will struggle to forget. More seriously, the arrival of the Talos has seized the public's attention. Once word has spread around Eulmore, it will be that much simpler to gather one and all so that Master Chai can make his inaugural address. No need to fret, Prince. I have never felt better. And not at all overawed by the prospect of addressing the assembled masses of Eulmore. As for where to do it, if we were to accommodate everyone who might feasibly wish to attend, I suppose the only place large enough would be the Emergent. Well, then I will go and spread the word among the citizens. both free and bonded, that they are to assemble there to meet their new mayor. You there, Kai-Shir, was it? Would you go in and inform the residents of Gate Town and the derelicts? Of course I will. Good lad. I will let the guards know not to bar the way to Vothri's chambers. It goes without saying that I expect the Warrior of Darkness to attend, assuming he's available. Might as well see it through to the bitter end, eh? The doorman at the Crown Lift will show you up. And so for that, we're going to teleport inside Eulmore. I believe it's this way. Yeah, here we go. Ah, yes. Master Chai told us to expect you. The Emergent is already filling up with people of all persuasions, free and bonded, citizens and non-citizens. But for you, our guest of honor, we have reserved a place at the front. Right this way, sir.
Go on, dear.
Thank you all for gathering here today. But before going any further, could I ask the free citizens of Eulmore to look around? "'Tis a sight none of us would ever have seen under Lord Vothri's rule. Not only do we stand in the familiar presence of those we once called the Bonded, but today we welcome the peoples of the Derelicts and Gate Town too. Today we welcome the Warriors of Darkness, come to bear witness to Eulmore's new beginning. As you know, an election was recently held, at the end of which I had the honor of being chosen to succeed Lord Vothri. You place great faith in me, and I promise to do my utmost to live up to your expectations, and I will seek always to carry out the duties of this office with integrity and fairness. Always, I say, but not forever. Let it be known that I do not intend to hold this post indefinitely. I consider myself but an acting mayor, who will serve only for the interim, while Eulmore is reshaped according to a new set of values. No longer can we think of ourselves as divided, as the free and the bonded, citizens and non-citizens. The systems put in place by Lord Vothri must be undone. But even as we tear down the old, we must give thought to the new, to what manner of nation Eulmore should become. whatever the answer may be, it cannot be decided by one man alone. And so I propose that an open forum be held, that we might all discuss how best to strive towards a better future. However, there can be no talk of the morrow unless we first address the issues of today. Securing new sources of food, rebuilding relations with our neighbors, re-establishing industry. There is much and more that needs to be done. Too much for a mere man of business. And so I pledge instead to do everything in my power to ensure our city's security and stability while we all work together to see these problems solved. The road before us will not be easy, and I know full well how daunting the prospect of honest labor may seem to some of you. But we must accept the reality of our circumstances. We must move forward. This much we owe to ourselves and to the brave heroes who risked their lives to bring back the night. Once we have shored up our city's foundations and regained some semblance of normality, let us reconvene to speak of the future. Until then, I humbly ask that you lend me and each other your strength. For Eulmore!
Alright, and let's check in with Alphino here. That was a fine speech, Master Chai. I believe your words stirred every soul in attendance. Stir them to action, I hope. If I have learned anything from all this, it is that change begins with the individual. 'Tis but a matter of finding the strength to take the first step. Assuming my fellow Eulmorans can, it shall be my honor and privilege to have them walk this road we have chosen. But we must not forget the individuals who made all these changes possible. Were it within my power, I would carve a tribute to your heroism into the very stone upon which this city stands. I hate to change the subject, darling, but now that you have officially taken office, have you given any thought to your mayoral seat? We will not be moving into the Emergent, dearest. It's too big for one thing, and too far from the people for another. We will retain our current residence, and I will govern here in the parlor. Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. I much prefer the view from the parlor. Begging your pardon, Master Chai, but have you got time for a word? Yes. Yes, of course, Hathen bit? Aye, that's me. I liked your speech, but there's folk outside these walls as don't even have enough food to last till tomorrow, and more who are counting their crumbs. If you've a plan to change that, I want to help set things in motion. Then we've much to discuss. No sooner do I take office than my work begins in earnest. Well, I suppose I brought it upon myself. Thank you again for your help, Prince. I hope to see you again before long. What a day. I don't know what it means exactly, but I do know I've got plenty to think about. I sense we all have a great deal to consider. I had resolved to remain here until such time as Eulmore's future was secured, but it is clear to me now that the city is in capable hands. I have every confidence that they will find their way, and I believe it is time we went on ours. So Alphino's leaving too, is he? Seems like everyone's moving on. Everything's changing. I've been thinking about what I should do in all of this. Like I told you, I spent most of my life dreaming about living here with my friends, in paradise. That paradise is gone, but something better's taken its place, and I reckon I want to be a part of it. This Eulmore for the people Master Chai's been going on about ain't gonna build itself after all. Not that I'm much of a builder. Me and my friends will find a way to make a difference, though help keep things changing for the better. A far nobler dream than the one to which you clung before, and one I am happy to say we share. Whatever path you choose, I will pray for your success. Well, when you put it like that, there's no going back now, is there? We've got a few ideas on how we can do our bit. Just a matter of taking the first step. Alright, so we just got a new orchestrion role. Now, Kai-Shir has a plus sign here. Okay, so this is actually for Disciples of Hand or Land. We'll come back to that later, but I do have most of my Disciple of Hand leveled to level 70. So, Vows of Virtue, Deeds of Cruelty. So this is the last quest of this patch. Truly, to see Kai-Shir thus inspired by our actions is inspiring in itself. Yet, however much I may wish to stay and see what comes of his efforts here in Eulmore, we have matters of our own to attend to. Come, we should return to the Crystal Tower. Mayhap Big Globe's studies have borne fruit in our absence. And that takes us back to the Ocular in the Crystarium. Once again, we head for the Dulsol Gate. Welcome back. We are given to understand a new mayor has taken office in Eulmore. Indeed. Our good friend Master Chai was elected by popular vote, and after some considerable soul-searching, chose to accept the post. It's a shame you weren't able to attend his inaugural speech, though I have no doubt you will see more of him in the future. But tell me, how fared you in preparing the White Ore site? our work did not proceed quite as expected. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transference, and concluded at length that white orosite was ill-suited for our purposes. But, Rianger, did you not say that, compared to the massy soul of an Ascian, the stone could house one of ours with ease? That I did, and armed as we are with Big Lug's invaluable insight, 'twould indeed prove a trifling matter, were we to disregard the invaluable link twixt mind and soul. A link which would, we did belatedly realize, be weakened most perilously in the process of rending our souls dormant, as orosite doth require. Thus, the shedding of these fleshy simulacra, and the surfeit of aether which compriseth them, would in all likelihood deprive us of our psyches as well. It would theoretically be possible to channel your minds into the orosite instead, but we would more than likely sacrifice your souls in the process. Which is why we have abandoned that plan, and instead devoted our time to finding a means by which mind and soul might be transported together. And we are no closer to a solution than when we first began. It is a vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Exarch has posited a most intriguing solution. When our discussions turned to the transference of memories and the psyche, I could not help but be reminded of a technique with which I have personal experience. Prince, do you recall what we learned of my eyes from our encounter with Doga and Une? That they are of Allagan origin, I believe? Yes. I speak of the royal eye of the Allagan imperial line, gifted to my forebears through the blood and memories of the ancient Allagans. It is by this gift that I am able to control the Crystal Tower. If we were to gain an understanding of the technology by which the Allagans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we could keep mind and soul together. Imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, replete not only with our worldly memories, but also the bountiful energies of the soul. That is our current avenue of investigation, and we will follow it wheresoever it leads. While we are thus engaged, I think it best that Prince return to the source and inform Krile and the others of our findings. I agree. I imagine Tatara will be relieved to hear we've made progress of a sort. Then I would beg leave to relay our findings unto Thancred and Reen, and to assist where I may in their investigation of the empty. Yes, please do so. Should we have need of your counsel, we will not hesitate to summon you. Give our regards to Tatara, won't you? Alright, so that is going to take us back to Mordona. And inside the Rising Stones we go. That tells me we're not quite done just yet here, though. Prince, you're back. How did everything go in the first? Wait, don't tell me. Krile will be here shortly, and she'll want to hear too. She's just tending to the others. Their bodies, I mean. Gods, I don't think I'll ever get used to saying that. Anyway, you can tell us everything the moment she gets here. A Upon speaking with Tataru, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Alright. Before we do that, then, if these are going to go on for quite a while, I'm actually going to turn the audio up in the game first before we do this. That should be good. Alright. Let's do this. Let's wait for Kryl's return.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I've carried out the treatment as per Master Matoya's instructions. It should slow the destabilization of their corporeal ether quite significantly. But tell me, how fare our friends in the first?
There are problems getting them back.
So this Becklug's the first to lead an authority on soulcraft, are they? Sounds promising.
And Urianger's proffered solution of white auracite is rather ingenious now that I think of it. Well, while they press on with their preparations, you may rest assured we will continue to do our part here.
Oh, you're back.
Estinian! Hey, how you doing?
And none the worse for wear, I see.
Estinian! Oh, thank the gods! We've been worried sick. Did you lose your link pearl or something?
The situation in Garlemald has become more complicated. I was making my escape from the capital when I ran into one of yours, Riol. He thought it best we come straight here.
More complicated how?
Where to begin?
That's true. We did kind of leave on a cliffhanger there between Xenos and Gaius.
After entering the Empire via Razat Han, I went about my mission of investigating Black Rose. It was then, inside a provincial factory, that I encountered the one who styles himself Shadow Hunter, Gaius Baelsar. Our goals being apparently aligned, we joined forces and ventured on into the heart of the capital, to the very Imperial Palace itself. There, we found a man whom all assumed dead.
You know, before we press on here, I want to bring something up that I didn't really think of before, but I did want to at least bring it up before, you know, the next part of this plays out here. Something about this whole Black Rose thing just doesn't sit right with me, because even if we've stopped, you know, the merging of the worlds from happening, provided Xenos had not run into us, we still would have ended up, or rather, Black Rose would have still ended up going off, essentially. So, I don't know if everything is 100% resolved related to that whole situation just yet here. Something about this just doesn't sit right, that Black Rose was actually the cause of what actually happened in the future here. So, I just wanted to get that out there. I don't think we're 100% done with that whole situation, but let's see what happens now here.
But his soul lives on, and he has wrested back his flesh. Xenos ye Galvus. Nor did the surprises end there. For no sooner had we arrived than he murdered his sire in cold blood. The Emperor is dead.
Hey, Echo. Good to see ya. I've seen him in action, his body at least. You will not best him alone. Nay, death will not come easily to that thing. If you would join me, then by all means. What good it will do. The Black Wolf and the Azure Dragoon. I suppose this might suffice. Come then. Ah, the simple pleasure of one's own flesh. Truly there is no place like home. Abomination. Whatever he is, Prince was barely a match for him. If we stay here much longer. Emperor Varys, Your Radiance, are you alright? We may wear out our welcome. Your Radiance, no! Must even the most middling of sport be spoiled? The world conspires to bore me. But I have no cause to remain. I leave these vermin to you. Xenos! Well, any bright ideas? Just one. Ah! Your Radiance! The intruders have taken flight. I repeat, the intruders have taken flight. Deploy all available Magitech armor. We cannot let them escape. Oh wow, we're doing this, huh? Okay. It's a good thing I already know how to play Dragoon, so this is not going to be a problem here. Although, I'm also noticing I don't have access to the full rotation here. Alright, so we're splitting up here. I guess maybe that's not the right way then. Unfortunately, I don't have a map to work with here. Oh well, someone's been busy. Ultima weapon. And you would bar my way, would you? So be it. Come, Nidhogg, lend me your strength. Alright, so now this is looking more like what I should have, it looks like. Loading new data. Yeah, this guy seems to be pretty easy as long as you keep moving here. And they're loading new data. And this looks like the final phase here. And the Ultima weapon, or Arch Ultima, is unstoppable. Limit Break!
Taste my lance.
Guardians and their Machina. Now, where are you, Gaius?
Are you all right?
Peer into my past, did you?
That's the Echo for you.
Well, I didn't quite relive the experience as you did, but I bore witness to it all.
I'm still not sure what I think of this gift of yours. But no matter. Our confrontation was cut short when the Imperial Guard arrived. It was then that Xenos took his leave, citing boredom.
To think their research into the Echo could bear such fruit. Escaping death, jumping from one body to the next, and returning to his own after all this time. He is an Ascian in all but name.
It beggars belief, aye. But no more than a hero traversing the rift between worlds. My concerns are far more prosaic. With the Emperor dead and the Crown Prince missing, the Empire is in disarray.
Another war of succession, is it then?
Until order is restored, assuming it even possible, we needn't fear an Imperial reprisal. And for reasons of his own, Xenos took it upon himself to rid the world of Black Rose. Riol has already gone to apprise the Alliance leaders of these developments. We may leave the matter in their hands for now.
then perhaps we have seen the last of the fighting at Gimlet. Though, if it comes to civil war, I cannot help but fear for the provinces. Ah, I'd nearly forgotten to ask. What became of Gaius? Did he not escape with you?
That he did, but we parted ways shortly after leaving Garlemald. He claimed another threat had arisen which demanded his attention. He didn't elaborate, but the absence of some device or other in the capital gave him reason to believe they're planning something. Lest you worry, I believe he has well and truly shed the Black Wolf's pelt. Conquest is no longer his objective. We may safely leave him to his own devices.
Well, it's nice to have one less foe to worry about, even if we do have a mysterious new threat to look out for instead. Speaking of which, I'll see that Riel and Al Shinobi are made aware. Though we still know next to nothing, it can't hurt to be vigilant.
Well then, with Black Rose nipped in the bud, I believe I've fulfilled my part of the bargain.
That's true, but with the Archon still slumbering away, we were hoping you might agree to stay with us for a little bit longer.
Sorry, but I'm not inclined to extend my contract. Gaius isn't the only one with business to attend to.
Thank you for your help then, Estinian. I see why Alphino admires you so.
Wherever the road takes you, be safe.
Farewell, my friend. See that you don't make a habit of dozing off in battle.
I suppose we should all be getting on then. As ever, we will see to the Archon's needs. In the meantime, why not get some rest? You've more than earned it. Go on.
Alrighty. You must be shattered after all that hopping back and forth between worlds. Why not stay here and rest for a while? I'm sure Big Lug can manage without you. They've got enough scions to help them, if you ask me. Meanwhile, in Garlemald. Traitors! You would dare deny Lord Nerva the throne? Ah! Onward! Before this day is done, victory shall be ours! Indeed, it is a war of succession, it appears. Boring, boring, boring. Do you think? I find it amusing, like dogs herding cattle to the slaughterhouse. That you, your soul is... Who are you? Before your majesty, I am but another dog, lost in want of a new master. A new hunting dog, if you should wish it so. For I know full well the prey you would seek next. Zodiark. Meanwhile, in Eulmore in the first. Did you hear? The mayor's reopening Daedalus Stoneworks, and they're looking for laborers. There's talk of resettling some of the old abandoned villages, too. They're even laying on free Talos to help anyone willing to make the move. Free Talos? Ha! We'd best get packing. Steady work, board, and lodging. If that's not a recipe for hope, I don't know what is. Oh. Arbor? Yes, so long as I yet live, I would see that feeble flame rekindled. It is my destiny to see our dream fulfilled. Okay, I'm kind of speechless here. What just happened? So was that not Arbor that we actually absorbed? Was that some other, I don't know, like another warrior darkness from yet another shard that came to the first? I don't quite know what to make of that. And then, of course, with Xenos, now that he has a target of Zodiark, I'm like, what does that mean? Is he going to become our ally to stop him, or what's the deal gonna be? This ending makes no sense. Oh boy. Alright, Tataru, do you have anything else to say here? Prince, might I ask a favor of you? I'm not normally one to pry, but Philomen has been oddly distracted ever since you came back to tell us of your travels in the first. Would you go and see if she's alright? Okay. No quest attached, but okay. Unless Philomen has the quest. Oh, actually, I do see a quest up there, so okay, let's make our way up there. Kinda odd that they wouldn't attach something like this to the main scenario. One final journey. Oh, Prince, forgive me, I did not see you there. Ever since you spoke to me of your last moments with Minfilia, I find myself often thinking of the moments I shared with her. And it was during one such moment of remembrance that a missive arrived from an acquaintance in Ul'dah. Even now, I can scarcely believe the letter's contents, written as if in answer to my heart's lamentations. Such fortuitous timing is nothing short of a miracle. No less than your arrival here this day, I should think. I am about to depart for the Sultanate to meet with my acquaintance, you see, and I cannot think of a better companion for this journey than you. Will you not indulge me with your company? I would not begrudge your absence, but if you are so inclined, it would mean more to me than you know. Is this something to do with Minfilia? Indeed it is. If what is written in the missive is true, I may yet have a chance to offer her a proper and final farewell. We are to meet on the steps of Thal, in front of Eshtime's aesthetics. Pray go ahead, I will be along shortly. Alright, let us teleport over there then. Let's start over... Actually, no, I didn't want the Adventurers Guild. I wanted the Gladiators Guild. Let's see how close that gets us. Pretty darn close, actually. I hope I have not kept you waiting over long. Philomin, thanks for coming on such short notice. And I can't say we were expecting you at all, Prince, though I suppose you do have a knack for assisting in matters of the dearly departed. So it is true, my friends. Did you find it? To start from the beginning, the concern was contracted to work on the waterways below Ul'dah. Naturally, this included reconstruction of the Silda aqueducts. The place Minfilia and the others fled after the ill-fated banquet. Aye, and while we were clearing out the tunnel, a glint amidst the debris caught our attention. Cat's eye. At first we wondered how it got to be there of all places, but then we remembered the stone Minfilia gave you all those years ago. There's no mistake about it. This is the self-same stone. The very first stone she ever unearthed. In those halcyon days when she was still called Asila. She was beaming with pride when she presented it to me. It was a gift I would treasure for years to come. Until the day when she needed it more than I. She seemed so lost that day in the waking sands. I knew that the cat's eye would remind her of how far she had already come, and that it instilled her with a little more courage to take the next step. To think she wore it all this time. When we searched the waterways shortly after the collapse, we didn't find a trace of the Scions, no belongings or anything. Curious that it would appear after all this time. With the stone in hand, Minfilia pressed onward in her quest for true peace. Never once did she look back. And though she is gone, her legacy lives on, in you, Prince, and the Scions, and in the child Reen. Safe in the knowledge that others continue to walk her path, she has sent this stone back to me. This I choose to believe. She has earned her rest. I shall bury this stone, that she might have peace in the hereafter. Where are you thinking? Next to where her father rests. Indeed, there is no better place than with your loved ones. Well, you're doubtless keen to see to that, so we won't keep you any longer. We'll find a moment to go and pay respects ourselves afterwards. The next time, take care. Thank you, both of you. Warburton was interred here in Ul'dah at Erlig's burial chamber, but around the time of the Scion's founding, he was moved to the Church of Saint Adama Landma under the care of Father Ilil. Come, Prince, let us seek out the Father and request his permission to bury the stone. So that should take us to East Thanalan. Hey, Purple Phantom Fox. I'm glad you could join. My apologies there. A dutiful student, to be sure. Nary a day passed that she did not set out into the wilderness with a pickaxe in hand. But fate would see her set aside the miner's tools and instead don a mantle of far greater responsibility. She was as passionate then as she was in her childhood, a fire in her eyes that refused to be extinguished. It was that flame that compelled me to lend the Scions my support without a moment's hesitation. To now see so many brave and noble souls continue her work, it only reaffirms that I was right to place my faith in her. Forgive my meandering musings. You have not come to hear me wax nostalgic. Pray see to burying the cat's eye. The 12's blessings be upon you. Thank you, Father Ilud. Come, Prince. Warburton's grave is just south of the church. Here it is, Prince. It was 20 years ago that Warburton came to Ul'dah, risking life and limb to warn us of the threat encroaching on Eorzea. 20 years ago that my ambition robbed him of his life, a daughter of her whole family. You would have been so proud of her. She was a warm, compassionate, and vibrant woman, always ready to answer the clarion call of duty without a moment's hesitation, just like her father. In the end, that selflessness would save not one but 2 worlds. Now her duty has ended, and though you are worlds apart, I pray with this stone, this precious gem from Asilia, as part of her remains at your side. Just as she remains forever in my heart. Oh, Asilia, never did I imagine such greatness could be born from a beginnings so humble. I am proud to have been there for you that first little triumph. Not only did you find a gemstone, you found your own path. That path took you far away, to a place fraught with danger, but you have achieved all that you ever desired, and you have returned. Rest now, Asilia, my dearest daughter. Won't you say a few words too? Your legacy lives on. There's much I've left unsaid to Asilia, but I feel as though a weight has been lifted. With a lighter heart, I shall return to Mordona and resume doing my little part for the Scions, for her legacy. Wherever you may be headed, please take care, and when you meet them, do pass my regards to Thancred and Reen and all the others. Thank you, Prince, for everything. Alrighty, so with that, we have completed the main scenario quest for 5.1. I was a little surprised here. There's quite a bit more than I was expecting still left to do today, so glad that actually filled the first hour and a quarter here. Anyway, we still have some unfinished business to do with the Beast Tribe, so let's make our way back over to Norvrent into Eulmore. Alright, let's head inside Eulmore. And since the stream was split up here, I'm going to go ahead and start this cutscene again from the start here. The first part of this, if you were not there, was what we did in the meantime while we were waiting for the queue to pop during the Yorha raid. This took us to this point here. Welcome, Prince, welcome. You stand within an illusory space created by our magics. Normally it's filled with fun things, but it's been empty like this since the gates were sealed off. The gates lead to the dreams of mortals in various regions of Norvrent, you see. They allow us to interact with dreams, to shape them and rollick in them. Sinister magic hangs over the gates, the work of Anne Ladd, I shouldn't doubt. So it seems. How did you get in here? My Thonsul showed me in, of course. And even if I weren't your distinguished guest, my cuteness doubtless would have won them over. But you're not nearly as cute as you think you are. But alright, you can stay. Now, where was I? Right. With that little girl freed from her nightmares, I sense that the magic over the gates has weakened, slightly but surely. This is because Anne Ladd has lost interest in the girl. I'm sure of it. We should be able to open one of the gates again. The one leading to Lakeland. I grasp the situation now. But I dare say our mortal friend is confused. Permit me to summarize it all for his benefit. Anne Ladd has identified mortals across Norvrent who strongly share their torment, and planted nightmares in them. In order to prevent interference, they sealed off the gates to the locals beyond. These mortals under Anne Ladd have have spread their influence to those around them, giving rise to the phenomenon of mass nightmares. Why do you suppose Anne Ladd is giving people nightmares? It is quite a mystery. Indeed, knowing Anne Ladd's motivation will be the key to our efforts. Rest assured, I shall continue sniffing about for answers. Alright, that's enough talking. Let's do something fun for a change. Prince, I'm going to lend you my power. What I want you to do is stand before the gate yonder, and reach out to it, while holding an image of Lakeland in your mind. That seems to have brightened things here. With that, we've reopened the first gate. We only have a few dream bubbles, though, so we can't do much here yet. The bubbles hold the memories of mortals' fun and happy dreams. They're used to fill our garden with all sorts of delightful things, and we can never have enough of them. On that note, we could still use your help, Prince. We went through a lot to reopen the gate. We have to make sure that it stays open. By freeing the little girl in Sullen from her nightmares, you and yours have reclaimed the dreams of those in Lakeland. Tyrabek appears eager to restore Lion Meg to its former fun-filled glory, and for this they require your aid. Right, let's continue this back outside. I'll arrange it so you can always return here. Just let Thunsoul know whenever you want to come and go. We can't even mount up in here, huh? There's like no ground underneath here. Ah, leaving already? You ought to stay and play a little longer. Not right now. Well, there you have it, Prince. Lion Meg. It's a bit bare at the moment. I know, but we'll collect more dream bubbles and we'll fill the place with fun things again. What are the gates to the other regions? Shouldn't we try to reopen them as well? Oh, we should and we will. But first we need to focus on the one that's already open. As it stands, Lakeland is still vulnerable to Anne Ladd's influence. In order to keep them and their nightmares away, we must keep the mortals happy by filling the region with lots of fun dreams. So you see, Prince, there's still much to be done. Won't you keep helping us so that mortals and pixies can have a place to play together? As long as you don't play tricks on me. Huzzah! Thank you, Prince. Rest assured, I wouldn't dream of playing tricks on you. After all, I'm a good Titania-fearing pixie. Without further ado, then, let's get to work bringing smiles to the people of Lakeland. For your part, I want you to gather lots of dream materials, items that we can enchant and use to rebuild Lia Meg. Lakeland is home to many lonely orphans, so objects that would alleviate loneliness would be ideal. My thanks in advance, Prince. I too shall continue my investigation. This Porksea will not hover idly while stomach-churning nightmares plague the land. Alright, so Beast Tribe quests have been unlocked. We have achieved friendly reputation with the Dream Spinners. And Pixie Beast Tribe quests are now available from Unni in Lydra Land. Furthermore, you may now purchase wares from Jewel O. Alright. We're just going to collect these real quick, and we will try to run through them. There we go. So one of them takes us to the northwest. One of them down into the water. And then another to the east. Let's take care of that one first. This looks like the spot. And there is the sweet Echovore. Now let's make our way over to the northwest and take care of the other two. Looks like the one in the water is going to take us right into that church down there. Alright, we got the relics down there. And then lastly is the one out here to the northwest. Once again, nothing too hard to handle here. And let's hand these in. Here's the tail. And with that, we get 5 tomestones of Phantasmagoria. So, not the Goetia, but the actual ones that you get for your weekly lockout. And here go the Witchweed Blossoms. And with that, let's see what they've got for sale right now here at the Fae Fancies. So, it looks like right now they're just selling different materia here, but over time, as you rank up with this beast tribe, like with many others out there, you're probably going to get a minion as well as a mount, and probably some other goods that you can use inside of housing and such. Alright, so with that, we've also finished up the beast tribe quests here. There's one other thing that we can start here today, and that is to take a look back in the Crystarium, where we have unfinished business with the role quests, if you remember those. Let's hit the Aethernet and head to... I think the Pendants was closer. Yeah, right up here. So, for this, I can no longer be a tank in this endeavor here because each of these quests requires different roles in terms of your class. So, if we go under here, all my healers are maxed out. And then you also need either a melee or physical range DPS, and then also a magical range DPS. So healer, plus one of these, 7, and then one of these, except Blue Mage. Blue Mage doesn't count for these. So, let's start with the healer. And that has now made this quest available. Since I'm going to be going healer here, I'm also going to change my HUD layout here. Don't you know better than to sneak up on a dwarf mid-flagon? Not even a proper greeting, neither. Look here. Lally-ho! The name's Gaiot. Lally-ho. See, now that's a greeting. Lally-ho's aside, just who are you, anyway? I dare say I remember someone like yourself if we'd ever met. You're from the same strange land as the Crystal Exarch, you say? Well, well, well. He's an odd sort, the Exarch is. He knows things, alright? And he's got some sort of mystical power. Don't suppose you're the same, are you? because I could use someone with powers the likes of which this world has never known. I'm hunting Sin Eaters, you see. Well, one in particular. A healer, and not half bad at the job, eh? I like your confidence. And I wish I could take your word for it, since you sound like just what I'm looking for. But I have to ask you to prove it. There's no need for that. Listen here, the Sin Eater I hunt ain't your average abomination. You can't blame me for wanting to make sure that I'm not leading you to your grave. That would be bad for both of us. So, you get yourself on over to the Forest of the Lost Shepherd, and we'll see what you got. Now, Gaia is a name that I remember from Final Fantasy IV. I believe he was the king of the Dwarven Castle, if I remember correctly. And, okay, so let's see. Forest of the Lost Shepherd, that is in Lakeland. Fort Job is the closest location to there. And here we are. Oh, Prince. Glad you found the place all right. Now for the prey. That'll do. Now I just take a deep breath and... Hey, your mother was a hobgoblin and you ain't much to look at neither. Come here and face me, you craven shite. Yeah, he didn't actually tell me to heal him. Ugh. Though Gaia lies prone, the creature appears indisposed to cease its rampage. It seems that it will have to be dealt with. Alright, let's bring out our chocobo, Hadred. And here we go. Alright, let's get Gaia back up. Ha! See, that wasn't so bad. I reckon that I broke 3 or so ribs, and at least 1 femur there, but my bones feel just fine now. Better than before, actually. And that beast gave you no trouble. Seems that you're just what I'm looking for after all. We can talk about the rest back at the Crystarium over a drink or 3. The folks at the Wandering Stairs know how to keep 'em coming. Meet me there. And back to the Crystarium we go. There ain't nothing like a flagon of ale after a well-earned victory. You didn't do anything! I didn't say it was my victory. Of course, I did find myself a partner of uncommon skills, so maybe it was. Ha! Whatever you want to call what we just did, doing it helped us understand each other sure enough. I've seen that you're a masterful fighter, and you've learned that I'm fearless as a stone. And so a fellowship is forged. Now that I'm sure you won't get yourself killed, I can tell you about the Sin Eater I'm after. It's one of the so-called cardinal virtues, Srufsine, and it's a nasty piece of work. Each of the virtues look like one of the fools who brought the flood upon us. This one takes after the worst of the bunch, Lamit, disgrace to all dwarven kind. Knowing that one of our own people was a warrior of light is bad enough. But Srufsine being out there, looking all dwarf-like, well, you don't help matters, accursed thing. The Council of Elders, they don't want to live with the shame of Lamit's sins no more. So the head of the council, the eldermost elder, stay with me here, gave me this job. Hunt down Srufsine, slay it. See that it don't keep sullying our good name. I'm our strongest warrior, so if anyone's going to do it, it has to be me. That's fine. I'm more than up for a contest of might. The problem I'm having, though, is that Srufsine keeps healing itself, and it's, well, deeply annoying. I suppose it's because Lamit herself was some kind of master of the art, but Srufsine's healing is so powerful that no matter how hard I whack it, I can't leave a scratch. To make matters worse, it also flies around, carefree as you please, resurrecting other Sin Eaters. We'll be up to our eyeballs in them forever if we can't do something about those curative powers. That's where you come in, right? Lamit doesn't deserve your scorn, you know. Listen, I know you have your own ways, and that's just fine. But whether you care much for dwarven honor or not, you have to agree that a Sin Eater that can raise its fellows from the grave is a danger to us all. As for Lamit, you should know that being a dwarf is about respecting tradition, and she never did. Never. You might not have heard, but the tales say that Lamit roamed the land without her helm. She willingly showed her face to those who weren't kin. She knew full well that it would dishonor her and us all, and she did it anyway. Then there's the part about bringing doom on all the world. Not one of our taboos, really, but it's generally frowned upon. And now she's back, face bare to the world, a Sin Eater. What could make a dwarf go so wrong? Ah, but we have ale to drink and Sin Eaters to hunt. In that order. You healed my body, sure enough, but I'll need a few more flagons to restore my vigor. And by a few, I mean about 100. Come and find me later. Alright, that quest is complete. Moving on. And who are you? You're looking at me? You got something to say? Got you, eh? Ha! Of course I remember my new partner, and I ain't drunk neither. I'm a dwarf. It'll take more than, well, however much I had to get me under the table. And now you know one more thing about me. This will only strengthen our fellowship, I'm sure. But we'll need more than just a sense of camaraderie if we're out to down Srufsine. So I'm thinking we should start with observation. Get you a look at its healing powers. Let's see what you're dealing with. Now, this is the perfect place to overhear the right sort of information. If you listen, don't get the wrong idea. I don't let it get in the way of no important drinking, but I do pay attention. Anyway, what I heard is that Shadowbringers been spotted in Kholusia. Then I remembered, there's a little pub in Stilltide, the Leaky Keel. It's called, and they make a decent brew. Some of the folks there should be able to point us in the right direction. Alright, let us make our way over to Stilltide. I believe this was the place where we met Alphino when we first arrived on the first. And just what are you looking at? Fine, fine. No need to give me that murderous stare. I know what you're thinking. That guy. You're thinking to yourself, always drinking and lounging about, and drinking some more. What a sluggard. What a drunkard. What a magnificent beard. Oh, I wish I had a beard like that. No, I don't. Yes, I know. You don't need to explain yourself to me. We really should work on finding you a sense of humor. Maybe deal with that after Shadowbringers. It might take a while. Anyway, you'll be happy to hear that while I was waiting, I got my hands on some prime information. Also some excellent wine, which, no, information first. Right, so, according to the local fisherfolk, quite a few sin eaters have turned up near the Bright Cliff lately. I suggest we go there and kill as many as we can find. We can't say for sure where Shadowbringers will appear next, but if it's in the area, it won't pass up a chance to revive its fallen friends, right? And while we're at it, you can vent some of that pent-up rage you've got. Don't need to be pretty, so long as the job gets done. Just make sure to find me again before Shadowbringers shows up, you hear? Alright, so we need to make our way over to where the destination is. Not too far, just down over here. Oh, actually, we have a lookout point. Let me switch over real quick to something that could use that. No, we're good with that one. Here we go. Always want to get that experience when I can. Alright, back to White Mage. And our destination is right down there. Come on, Hadred. And let's take this Sin Eater out. There we go. Next destination is right over here. There goes the second group. And now we are headed up here to the north. That should do it. Now we wait to see if Shadowbringers shows itself over in those bushes, say. I've got the wine right here. There, that's it. See? It revived the other one. Hey, what's wrong? Hello, Echo. What a lonely place to die. The world outside is even worse than I feared. Is someone there? You're alive? Well, why didn't you say so? I can't do much for the dead, but the living, that's a whole other matter. I can't believe it. All my wounds healed. Thank you, kind stranger. You sure are lucky that I passed by. You really might have died, you know. You'll hear no argument from me. I was a fool. The thought that the hobgoblin I was after might have friends lying in wait never so much as crossed my mind. I shouldn't have been out here alone. With your magic to keep me fighting, though, their numbers wouldn't pose such a problem. What do you say? You don't look to have a party of your own yet, and I could certainly use a man like you on my side. I am no man, you unripened gourd. Why, I've never been so insulted in all my life. Let me tell you what's what. I'm Limit, proud daughter of the Foal family. If I catch you mocking me again, I'll put you right back the way I found you, you hear? Yes, ma'am. I certainly didn't mean to offend. The beard misled me, you see. And that's it. Look, Ardbert, treasure! You certainly look the hero. Now let's see you act like one. Hello, Prince? Hey, you! Honorless lout! Half-empty flagon! Pointy-headed dung sniffer! Your mother was a hob and your face looks like a newborn's us! That was colorful. Straight-faced as always. A refreshing round of insults always cheers me up, but I'm starting to wonder if you have as much trouble with fun as you do with jokes. Are you sure your mother ain't a hob? Fine, never mind. At least we got what we came for. And you didn't miss much. After Shadowbringers brought the other eater back to life, they both floated off to who knows where. But what happened to you? Saw the past. You saw Shrovstein? No, the real Lamit's past? Ha! I knew you'd have some kind of weird power. Sounds to me like you just witnessed what the beginning of Lamit's journey, right after she left home. It's odd. You said she was wearing her helm, and she helped out that injured traveler just like any dwarf of honor would do? Maybe she wasn't born a monster. But then... It don't sit right with me, neither. But standing around wondering about it won't do nothing but make us thirsty. We're done here, so let's go back to the Crystarium. Alright, let's make our way back to the Crystarium, as he says. And let us hand in this quest. Ah, there's nothing like a flagon of ale after job well done. Don't give me that look. I did stuff this time. You saw. And you also saw Shrovstein work its magic. But since you haven't said nothing about it yet, I'm guessing you didn't have no sudden revelations about how to stop it. Don't worry, I didn't expect you to solve my whole problem just like that. I only need you to remember what you saw today. Keep in mind, then, maybe something will come to you when you're working your magic elsewhere. Me, I like to think while I drink. It's the most efficient way, so you can find me here if you need me. I'll let you know when I have a plan. Ah. Lally-ho! Looks like you've been training hard. In fact, your muscles sure much bigger. It's almost like there's 3 of you. Yes, I'm joking, as you know, but you do seem stronger. I don't suppose you came up with a clever plan for stopping Shrovstein while we're at it? Don't worry, I have another test in mind that'll get us more information. Then we'll be better set to think of something. We'll be killing Sin Eaters again, but this time you're healing them. Well, trying to anyhow. I don't expect it to work. Sin Eaters ain't like us, or like any other sort of normal creature. But by seeing your healing magic fail to heal them, we should learn why it don't work. And then maybe we can figure out what's so different about Shrovstein. I've heard from folks passing through that stray Sin Eaters find their way to Amarang pretty often. Meet me at Mordsuk, and be ready for carnage. To Mordsuk we go! And it looks like he is just to the north there. Oh. You know, I heard that the liquor here ain't fit to drink, but it's not half bad. Gets the job done, and with a real kick. Oh, I know what you're thinking. That guy always downing one ale or another. You think to yourself, and so good at it too. I'm uncontrollably jealous. I just can't take anymore. And you quietly weep on the inside. I'm sympathetic. I am, but my drinking is important. No, indispensable. Dwarves get fiercer the more they drink. Really fuels the fire within. I can see you don't believe me. Fine, you leave me no choice. I'll show you. I'll go on ahead and dice some Sin Eaters in the time it takes you to finish off this moored swill here. Just gulp that down and come find me, southeast of here. You'll see. Alright. A half-finished bottle of alcohol. apparently purchased by Gaiot, sits on the mat. The local concoction within is a deep brown, and from it wafts a stench that can only be described as atrocious. Oh, hell knows! A feeling of foreboding, be it an effect of the echo or something more instinctual, overpowers you when you so much as look at the contents of the bottle. You decide to abstain, and make up an excuse to tell Gaiot later. Very good, very good. Only Mord enjoy our brew. No one else ever drink as much as that dwarf. Not just only that, but drinking is kind of out of character for the Warrior of Darkness. As we saw during a certain meeting back in Ishgard, with everything that happened after the Dragon Song War. See, your average Sin Eater's no match for me. Not with the power of tradition and alcohol on my side. As a matter of fact, I put down another before I got around to this one here. But I did the job a bit too well. Really mangled the thing. It was pretty gross, flattened in the wrong places with bits poking out and the like. So I got it out of here. Anyway, you get the idea. I drink a lot. I kill stuff. You have to admit, it's an effective strategy. And now we've got our Sin Eater patient, you can try out your healing on it. Go on. Alright. As we thought. Nothing. Did you figure out the why of it? I think it was never really alive to begin with. You're right on that one. Sin Eaters may look like people or beasts, but it's like they're just pretending. They're not truly alive. Only the light drives them. Keeps them going like winding an automaton. And healing magic ain't meant for restoring life to something that didn't have none to begin with. But if Shadowsign's power ain't like the healing magic we know, what is it? I also wonder why it don't come and revive this one. Is it just too far away to take notice? Then again, I never heard tell of it appearing at Holminster Switch, neither. And so many Sin Eaters got killed there that you'd think it would take note eventually. So why only resurrect some Sin Eaters and not others? This is all too much thinking. Not enough drinking. To the Crystarium! It's a shame you can't try to cast a raise spell on the thing. To see if maybe that worked. I mean, that looked like just a Cure 1 that was being cast there. Pendants? The Horde stuff, alright, but this time is fine ale. At least that's what my body tells me, and I'm always listening. That's how I keep my muscles primed and spirits high. Speaking of, would it kill you to relax a little? Being so serious all the time can't be good for you, and the silent staring just makes you seem morose. We won't kill Shadowsign any faster for not drinking, that's for sure. Nothing comes easy to sober folks. And that's why I need a few more in me before I can really get to work figuring out why Shadowsign does what it does. I keep feeling like I'm missing something obvious, but, That's another quest down. Lolly-ho! I'd ask if you're here for a drink, but I know you ain't. You've got that serious look about you, as usual. I've got my usual here too, my 5th round of it, in fact. Ha! Why so few, you ask? Well, I stepped away for a while to do some research. But that Morin bloke kicked me right out of the Cabinet of Curiosity, and then banned me for life. Spill just a bit of mead on the books, and he chases you out with the fury of 1,000 floods. That man could use a drink if you ask me. What's that glare for? Don't tell me you're siding with him over me. We're supposed to be partners. And after I worked so hard to find this new information on Schroefstein, drank so much, sat with those dusty tomes until not one but both my buttocks went numb. So, did you find anything? You know, after what I went through at the cabinet, your complete refusal to acknowledge anything I do is kind of comforting, actually. Anyhow, I did get some new information from a reliable source, a drinking buddy of mine. Schroefstein was recently seen in the Raktika Greatwood. If we do some of our signature eater slaying in the Force, there's a chance we'll draw it out. I figure that sitting around thinking is getting us nowhere, and research can only take us so far. So why not? Maybe fighting it together will teach us something we couldn't learn otherwise. We can't kill it, but the two of us should be more than capable of getting a few whacks in and making an escape. I fought it before and come away fine, mostly. So that's the plan. Meet me at Slitherbowl. Then we go a-pummeling. To Slitherbowl we go then. Guy is right over there. Ah. There you are. I didn't mention it earlier, but I've been here looking for Schroefstein before. I know most everyone in Slitherbow, actually. Sure, they seem an odd lot at first, what with worshipping the darkness and all. But once you get to know them, share a few drinks, they're not bad folks. Make a fine wine, too. Shame you can't get it anywhere else. Anyhow, they've been helping me out while I enjoy the local spirits. Seems that Schroefstein's shown itself in the blind forest of Yixmaja east of here. Let's get out there and slay a few Sin Eaters each, like we did before. See if that brings it to us. Alrighty. There's the destination. Okay, that's the first group down. We have another group over here, it looks like. And on to the next spot. Alright, this looks like a case of duty calls. Right, that looks good. Well, not good, but you take my meaning. Now we settle in and hope that Shadowbringer feeling charitable today. So, duty calls, commence battle for the lost and the found. Level sync is in effect, so that's going to bring us down to level 76. Where is it? I'm nearly out of wine. Oh, there! Don't forget, we still need to find out how it does what it does, so make sure you're watching, not just walloping. Watch closely. Wait for it. There! Why doesn't it fix the other one, though? Well, makes our lives easier, I guess. Charge! Now for Shruffs. Shruffsy. Oh, shite. How does it do that so fast? Right, divide and conquer then. You take Shruff's side. It's working, keep at it. Ha! Take that, you! What? Did we do it? Of course not. Healing magic is so annoying, no offense intended. Prince! Oh, not again. This is the Guardian. You excited, Limit? Yes, of course. I've come this far. and I will claim the legacy of Runka. Alright, looks like we got another battle on our hands here. Alright, so Ronkan Stone, Cure, Medica, Asuna, and Renew. Unfortunately now, I actually have to click on everybody here, rather than just using my mouse overs, which I've been using. Alright. Let's get this started. Actually, Sylva needs to focus more than I do. I was more focused on trying to get them healed up. Let's take that again, shall we? Oh, is this gonna restart us back here? Hit cutscene. Yep, alright, so we don't even get a checkpoint. Alright, so they're down again. We're gonna skip through this cutscene and get right back to the next battle. Alright, Sylva, you get my focus this time. let's get this going. Alright, Arbor got a Doom effect on him. Alright, now I've got Doom on myself. And now it's gone. I keep thinking the number 4 button is my Medica, but it's not. Come on. Oh, it's down. Everyone all right? All's well. Now, let's get what we came for. The lost restorative magic of Ronka. And you sense the power in it? Yes. There can be no mistake, Sava. This is it, and my only path is forward. Wait, is it Silva or Silva? Wise Guardian, in the name of the Royal House of Ronka, I implore you, grant me your knowledge. Limit? White Aura Sight. I did it. The spell is mine at long last. I can save my sister. And you will. We'll meet up with Wrenden and Albert, and then we'll see you home. Hey, oh, he of inferior beardliness. Eggface, Hobson, get it together for stone's sake. Seeing into the past is a nice trick and all, but could you maybe, oh, I don't know, wait until we're not in mortal peril next time? Driving Shrovstein away without pulverizing you in the bargain was no mean feat. If I weren't, well, me, we'd both be dead right about now. I hope you learned something worth the trouble at least. The limit was after a spell from old Ronka. That could be the secret of Shrovstein's power, but it's hard to know for sure. Whatever Limit did to pry those secrets out of the ruins was right complicated by the sound of it, and she took the power with her. We need to think on how we can confirm what you saw. Maybe find out what the magic actually does. Yes, over a nice mug of ale. No, mead. No. Ale first, then mead. Back to the Crystarium, then. Nothing goes down so well after a fight than ale. Ain't no higher truth in the world than that. Don't give me those, oh there goes guy waxing philosophical about the ale again eyes. I'm doing this for your own good. It's plain that you never had a proper education. It's like this, you pick the right booze for the right job. You've got your ale for before and after physical fights, of course, but you've also got mead for reading, wine for singing, and your hard liquor for those times when you need to tell some Hobson to go stick his head at it in the forge. Me, I'll be switching to the mead. I'm thinking I might find something about what happened to Limit's sister if I look through my village's old annals. And hopefully I can get my hands on some historical records of Ronka, Morin be damned. I don't know what you'll be getting yourself into while I'm at it, but you make sure to bring the right drink for the job. I'll let you know when I've got something worth pursuing. And on to the next quest. There you are. I need... Lish. Mead? Yeah, you heard me. Lish. But more ale. Much more. Wait. You ain't the waitress. Oh, I know you want to say something, but you won't. You think that'll just encourage me. Well, maybe that's what I want you to think. Or maybe that's what I want you to think. All this time, I thought I was annoying you, but actually... Nah, it can't be. All this rubbish about lost civilizations must be getting to me. I've read a dozen histories, and I still don't know nothing about that magical Limit's. What I did find, though, is where she would have gone if she wanted to see her sister, and it's in Tamra. So what do you say? Come and visit my home. I'll be waiting for you when you get there. Alright, so to Tamra we go. And they are right over here. I may have forgotten to tell Prince how to get here. That's unfortunate. Come to think of it, I ain't sure he can get here. The tunnel's only for dwarves, and... Prince, where'd you come from? So it was you folks that got the ladder moving? Huh. I can't believe you managed that, and didn't even tell me, just when you think you know a person. Yes, that's a joke. Anyhow, the place I want to show you is just over there. Follow me. Nothing to worry about. This monstrosity came flying at my face. Rudely, I might add, when I unsealed the old tunnels, but everything's under control. As you can see, I gave it an old-fashioned dwarven decking. Old tunnels? Yeah, they're the reason I brought you here. Can't say I was expecting such a nasty welcome, but maybe I should've. Let me explain. We don't use it no more, but before the flood, dwarves lived in this place. Only the sick ones mind. In those days, there was this illness called stone blight. Turned your skin to stone bit by bit, and it was just a matter of time, a few months or years, until you were petrified completely. No one knew where it came from, but they did know that it was contagious, and so they locked them all up, here in the Blight Warrens. They needed to keep it from spreading because there was no cure, not back then. Limit, was it not enough to leave without permission, or to return unbidden, bringing these strangers into our home? You knew full well that entering the Blight Wardens is forbidden. How many of our traditions must you trample before you are satisfied? If you so refuse to respect your heritage, you have no place here. As head of the council, I hereby banish you. You are no longer a dwarf. Be gone and never return. Be gone! Have you lost your wits? Limit just cured your people, her sister and all the others. She left your village to find a way to save them, and she did. She did what no one else would. Your words have no weight here, outsider. This is a dwarven matter. Silence! Silence! I will not be silent. You have no idea what Limit has been through. That's enough, Ardbert. Whatever my reasons, I did break our laws. And I did so knowing that this would be the result. I will accept my punishment. I leave my dwarven pride behind today. Limit. If Limit is leaving, so am I. You probably didn't think much of us after you shoved us in there to die, but it was awfully hard to breathe. We all took our helms off. If Limit's going to be banished for breaking our traditions, then I should be too. As the young lady says, none of us is perfect. It ain't right that Limit should be the only one punished for it, especially seeing as she was saving us. Come on, exiles. We keep our faces plain for all to see, and our heads held high. Oh, everyone. Are you sure you're all right with this? We could go back. We could. What? Pummel the elders with your axe? I know you're not that fledgling adventurer who got knocked flat by Hobbs anymore. You could probably defeat even our strongest warriors, but forget it. We have more important things to worry about. We still haven't found what caused the illness in the first place. If it really is the Shadowkeeper again, well, you know what we have to do. If this is what it takes to save our world, I will give up my home and more, Ardbert. And anyway, it's not all bad. I don't think I really understood before. How beautiful it is out here. How nice the wind feels. It is nice, isn't it? And for what it's worth, I'm glad you're here. Helmet or no. Ardbert, thank you. Hey, Hobson! Ugly! Look, I'm running out of insults here, and I'm starting to feel bad. Just wake up already. Finally! Well, that was harrowing. About as soon as you started doing your thing, that Sin Eater decided to rise from the dead. Though I suppose that's mostly my own fault for not dealing it an extra blow or two just in case. Anyhow, what did you see? I knew it. I knew that Limit was the one who cured Stone Blight. It had to have been. She saved all of them, and they exiled her for it. And then, the head of the Council of Elders. Okay, let's make our way out of here. Oh, sorry, I suppose I wandered off. Got caught up in my own thoughts. Actually, can you give me a moment? Or maybe a while? I'm not sure what to think is all. I don't want to keep you from your other work, so see you later. Okay, this should be the last quest. Oh, hello there, Prince. Might as well do it. Hey, you hammer-brained imbecile, your mother was a hobgoblin. Some of that may be accurate, but my mother most definitely was not a hobgoblin. Are you sure you ain't getting her confused with your own mother? Hammer-brained. I never thought I'd see the day when you took to friendly insults, partner. That really helped. Thanks. I was so busy dwelling on the business with Lamit that I almost forgot the news I had for you about Strofstein. You remember that senator I killed in the Blight Barns? Well, while you were gone, Sorosine showed up to revive it. Seeing that convinced me. I mean, you remember how I was wondering why Sorosine don't revive every sinner eater we take down, right? Well, we learned from your vision that the dwarves that Lamit cured of Stoneblight went into exile of their own volition. As you can see, the village was spared the worst of the flood, but the folks that left, well, probably weren't, which means Sorosine is healing the same people Lamit did. Right, it's the only thing that makes sense. Those poor souls couldn't go back to the village, so they got caught in the flood. They became sin eaters, and Sorosine is still saving them, even now. And that gave me an idea. As we figured before, Sorosine ain't alive, but Lamit wanted so badly to heal those dwarves that it's still following suit. Like a reflex its body can't forget. Last time Lamit saw those folks she healed, they were helmetless, leaving their home for the last time. She probably never forgot the sight of them, and so Sorosine goes around healing helmless dwarves to this day. You see the solution, right? Helms! So simple, it's brilliant. Isn't it just? Not as brilliant as my beard, maybe, but few things are. Now, whether clapping a helm onto Sorosine will keep it from healing itself, I can't say. It'll depend on whether the thing sees itself as just another helmless dwarf. I don't seem to have much in the way of self-awareness, so it don't seem to have much in the way of self-awareness, so I think it's worth a shot. Fortunately, we won't need to wait to find out. It came around not too long ago before you did, so if we kill the right sort of sin eaters, it should still be close enough to notice. Let's get to it. Okay. Looks like the first part of that is going to be up here. Alright, here we go. We should also get Hadra back out. That's the first group down. And then we have another down here. takes care of the second group. And let's go find Gaia now. And here we go. Right, so we've got our we've got our eaters, we've got our helms, and now we wait. Once Sorceline shows up, we'll test out a helm on the bait first. That'll save us from having to kill it over and over. This feels familiar. Aha! At last! A bit less toppling over on your part this time, if you please. Alrighty, here we go. Wait for it to be distracted while healing the other one. Then we strike. Now, charge! As I said, we'll try this on the Lesser Eater first. I'll give it a bit of a pummeling, and then you put it to sleep with Repose. I doubt it'll take to napping mid-battle unless it's nearly ready. Do I even have Repose in my bars? I don't think so. There we go. Alright, the sleep resistance is gone. Alright, let's get that ugly mug of yours covered up. Ha! Ain't that a sight? So the helmed head is crammed awkwardly into a dwarven helmet, granting resistance to sleep. Looks like it worked. It's not reviving the thing. Now we... Uh-oh. Lucky for us, I brought extra helms in case of emergency. Alright, let's hit you with Repose. That takes care of one of them. And here goes the other for repose. Alright, so we have another group here. Well, no time to ponder that now. Helms away. Repose time. And let's get you as well. It looks like they've stopped coming. Now we hit Stroh sign with everything we have. And down they go. Perfect. Now. Hold still. Ah! Oof, thanks. The helm got it even worse than I did just then, and it was our last one. I hate to say it, but this ain't going as well as I hoped. If we had even one more helm, I could try again, but... Wait, we do have one more helm. That's true. Yours. Just the one. Well, well, looks like it's time to take this eater down, once and for all. Together! Alright. It is time, Prince. We can end this. Looks like I was right. No healing for you. Ah! Oh, right. Limit was a big damn hero. No surprise. I don't like the look of that. Well, now that's perfect timing on the rain. Just about have it down. And that's it. Duty complete. Ha! Take that, you pasty bastard! What's that you got there, Prince? Some kind of crystal? Tradition wouldn't have saved her. That's why I left. I left and I traveled. I met Ardbert. We found our companions, and together we searched. Are you her? Lamit? Listen. I called you a disgrace before, and... My journey was not an easy one. To save my sister, to save them all. I faced 1,000 foes. I know. I understand now, and I'm so... But as I did, I learned how wide this world is, how beautiful, how cruel, and how much I wanted to protect it. Perhaps it should have been easy for me then, to give up my home forever, for a greater cause. It wasn't. It hurt so much. But you bore it. You forgave them. You survived. Yes, it hurt, but I survived. Because they were there. Because he was there. Ardbert, you stubborn idiot. You sweet boy. You never did understand what you meant to me. Rest well, Limit. You were the best of us. We did it. I can hardly believe it. This calls for a drink at the Crystarium, don't you think? If that silence is you wondering if I want to go home, well, I can't. I showed my face to you, didn't I? Broke our rules. So I'm thinking I'll give Limit's way a try. Live proud as an exile, just like all the other folks that she saved. Ah, don't make that face. It's nothing that a little ale won't solve. And back to the Crystarium one more time. Ah, that's the stuff. Can I help you? You're staring. Really staring. Do you know you're doing that? I'm glad that you're here, Eulmore. No. Looks like you finally figured out how to tell a joke. Now's the part where I stare all misty-eyed into the distance, right? Anyway, there's something I've been wanting to tell you. Firstly, well, you've been following along with my crazy plans this whole time. But I never really said how much I appreciate your help with Sulfurosine. And Limit, thank you. And I think you deserve to know something else too. You know the elder who exiled Limit? That was my great-grandfather. He's remembered as the greatest warrior of our kind. I always wanted to be just like him, to be strong, honorable, protect our traditions. But Limit, she saved so many from their suffering. Us dwarves might not even be here today if she hadn't cured Stoneblight. And he took her away, and he took away her home, forever. It's hard to see that as anything other than cruel. Tradition is important, but it's not the only important thing. Kindness, empathy, love, this world and the living, breathing people in it, they matter more. That's what I learned from all the folks I shared drinks with, from Limit, and from you. And I intend to keep learning, here in this city, with my face plain for all to see and my head held high. So you know where to find me next time you want to share a drink. I know our job is done, but you'll always have a place at my side, you hear? Okay, let us take on the piety materia. Or no, actually, we're getting all of it. Alright, and so with that, we have completed the healer role quest. And so with that, that means we just have 2 more to take on. We need to take on the physical DPS as well as the magical DPS. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to complete those tonight here, so there will likely be one more stream where we will cover those. But before we end today, I did want to head back to Eulmore and take a look at what that one quest was. Let's see here. I just realized that I did not have anything glamored for that. Or rather, I did have something glamored to it. So let me put on something appropriate here. Here we go. That should do. Alright, where are you, Kai-Shir? Over here. Prince, have you got a moment? I've been wanting to have a word. Is it true you're expecting armor? You're an expert armorer? Now, who told you that? Alphino's the one that brought it up. Said you've been dealing with the Boutique of Splendors and all. Anyhow, I asked because I was hoping to get your help with something, a bit of a project of mine as it goes. Since I decided to stay here in Eulmore, I've been trying to find ways for people like me to contribute to the future of the city. Thing is, I've never learned a trade or nothing like that, so I was struggling to come up with ideas. After a lot of thinking, I put together a pretty decent plan, but I could do it with your professional opinion and maybe a bit of help. If you're up for it. What do you say? It's for a good cause, I promise. I've asked a couple of old mates to meet us outside the beehive, so I'll see you there. To the beehive we go. And you know what, this is the first time I'm taking a look at the Disciple of Hand stuff after the revisions that were just made. All these abilities that no longer work, it hurts. First things first, let me introduce you. This here is Anfrig. He serves his drink shaken, not stirred. Yes, as the saying goes here in the beehive, fancy a shake. Reactions vary, as I'm sure you can imagine. It's a pleasure to meet you. And this is Bostazia. I also work in the beehive, though my talents tend more towards whining and dining, winding and grinding. Whatever our patrons desire. Anyway, a friend of Kai-Shir's is a friend of ours. We grew up together in Gate Towns, close as a family. All 3 of us are orphans, so we had to stick together to survive. We shared everything we had, right down to our last crust of, well, whatever was available. That's why we promised each other that we'd find a way into Eulmore, no matter what it took. But Anfrig and I were chosen, while Kai-Shir was left behind. I can't tell you how glad we were to be reunited with him after so long apart. We've been through a lot, him more than most, but we're all here now. I never thought I'd see the day. I hate to say it, the way things are going, there might not be reason for us to stay in Eulmore. So much has changed since the fall of Vothri, and business at the Beehive has really dried up. Well, while I am all for this city becoming a fairer place to live, we need to face facts. At this rate, places like the Beehive will struggle to stay afloat. If we were to be let go, the chances of us finding similar work here would be slim at best. You're not thinking of leaving Eulmore, are you? To be honest, we don't have much choice. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I said I'll sort something out, didn't I? I've got a plan to bring visitors into Eulmore, and I want you two to be part of it. It's also why I brought Prince here. His skills as an armorer are going to solve all of our problems, I swear. Well, well, how wonderful it is to see my employees engaged in such lively conversation. The Queen Bee. Sorry, sir, I'll get back behind the bar. No, as you are. In fact, Mistress Moen and I were discussing ways in which the Beehive's fortunes might be improved. It was then that we overheard you, and my ears pricked up when you mentioned the possibility of attracting new customers to Eulmore. Given the current state of affairs, this would be most welcome. Would you share your ideas with me, young man? I ain't a businessman or nothing, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm off the mark here, but it seems to me that under Vothri, Eulmoreans forgot what it means to actually work for a living, and most of the old industries disappeared altogether. Still, there are a few things left over from those days that we can put to good use. Such as the entertainment. Eulmoreans ain't the only ones who like to have good old knees up, you know? If we open up the City of Final Pleasures to visitors, we'll be raking in the gill. And what better way to do that than telling everyone about the Beehive? Of course, word of mouth will only get us so far. But if you put me in charge of promoting your establishment, I'll do whatever it takes to bring in people from every corner of Norvrand. I say, your enthusiasm is positively infectious, and for a self-confessed amateur, I find you remarkably persuasive. I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is certainly in line with Master Chai's aim to foster trade with outsiders. As far as I can see, the Beehive stands only to gain from this most worthy of endeavors. I am therefore placing you in charge of advertising the Beehive. Since I have a vested interest in the success of this undertaking, the Boutique of Splendors will gladly grant rewards for bringing much-needed custom to our doorstep. But first, you will need to look the part, and I have the perfect ensemble in mind. In the meantime, I would have the two of you resume your duties. When the time comes, I should like you to provide assistance in any way that you can. Our knowledge and expertise are at Kai-Shir's disposal, sir. I gather that you are here at the lad's request, yes? I can only guess as to what it may entail, though I dare say all shall become clearer soon enough. I bid you good day. Alright. Looking good there, Kai-Shir. I'm surprised you recognized me in this getup. I have to tell you, I ain't used to wearing anything like this. Still, if I'm to advertise a place like the Beehive, I suppose I've got to look the part. Not that it really matters for our first task, though. While I was getting measured for my outfit, I was thinking of how we could convince everyone to come and spend their hard-earned coin in the Beehive. Rather than shouting from the rooftops, it'd be a lot easier if we gave out flyers everywhere. I ain't just talking about a handful, though. I'll need hundreds, and that means I'll need paper, ink, and something to print them with. That last one's the trickiest, but it'll speed things up like no one's business. You think you could get those for me? There was one other thing. Oh, right, payment. Of course, I ain't expecting you to do it for free. I'll be getting scripts and whatnot from Moen, so I'll send a few your way. That sound alright to you? Thanks, I owe you one. Or I will once everything's been sorted out. All you have to do is bring me the stuff for the flyers, and I'll take it from there. Alright, quest clear. And custom deliveries for Kai-Shir have been unlocked. So if you're unfamiliar with custom deliveries, basically what this is it's a way for you to gain extra experience in scripts through doing various crafting activities, as well as gathering as well. So items sought by Kai-Shir fall into three categories: crafted items obtainable by Disciples of Hand, gathered items obtainable by Disciples of Land, and fish. Furthermore, Kai-Shir deals only in collectibles. In order to deliver an item, you must be its corresponding class and level 70 or above. If you are level 70 or 79 or below, you'll be rewarded experience points instead of white scripts. Information on how to find individual items may be found in the following manner. For Disciple of Hand items, choosing the Search for Item by Crafting method subcommand. With the list selected, will bring up the crafting log and the relevant recipes. Materials necessary to craft the collectibles Kai-Shir seeks may be purchased from Dadin in Eulmore's Aetheryte Plaza. Likewise, for the Disciple of Land items, choosing the Search for Item by Gathering method subcommand will bring up the gathering log. For knowledge on fish and fishing holes, refer to the item descriptions displayed when the list is selected. The higher an item's collectability, the greater the reward you will earn from Kai-Shir upon successful delivery. To learn more about collectibles and how to increase collectability, speak with Kai-Shir and select Learn about custom deliveries. And like he said, he is looking for a flyer printing set, and as we put those together, he will then level up to us being able to provide other things as well. And that's the basics of how custom deliveries work. You get 6 of them, or rather, you're able to deliver 6 per week per person. There are other custom deliveries out there which you're able to hand in as well to further fill out the experience that you're getting from this. And as it turns out, since we did end up in the Beehive, I guess my original outfit actually did kind of make sense. And so with that, we have come to the end of today. As mentioned before, we still have to finish up what we have to do with the other 2 role quests. There are also several other quest lines that I still want to go through eventually in this series. Back in the other playlists, we still have to go through the 24-man raid series back in Heavensward. Plus several other things such as the Warring Triad. But those are all things for another day. And with that, if you've enjoyed today's content, please do make sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified whenever I do go live or whenever I put out a new video. In addition to that, I also have a Discord. The link to that is in the description below. Thank you for joining me today. This is Prince Brightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.